The studio behind The Last of Us and Uncharted, Naughty Dog, has a legacy of redefining gaming with each release. But what happens when an entirely new contender steps into the spotlight? Enter Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, a game shrouded in mystery, ambition, and intrigue. Could this be the next masterpiece that shifts the gaming landscape? With whispers of revolutionary gameplay and a narrative that could rival the greats, today we'll explore what makes this project so compelling and why it could stand shoulder to shoulder with industry giants like The Last of Us and Uncharted. Buckle up, this journey into the unknown is just getting started. I hope you appreciated the opening sequence of the video, and if you didn't, don't worry, because I'm going to take you back. Because before we get into the spacecraft and our protagonist, we need to go back to the opening scene, where we see that there's a starting quote of the trailer, initially in a foreign language, and then translated to English. The quote signifies the context of the world, where past generations have performed actions which have resulted in the current situation of the intergalactic world. The term ancient Semprian scripture at first glance might seem a proverb or a quote from the past, but it's very essential and integral to the lore of the game. This new lore aspect is a significant narrative element because from this stems the context of this world. While details about the scripture are sparse, it's likely to be a fictional construct forming part of the game's deeper mythology, possibly associated with the themes of prophecy, heresy, or conflict. This aligns with the game's reported ambition to combine sci-fi storytelling with moral and philosophical depth. The game's mystery has been amplified by its recent trademark filing, with fans speculating about its connection to past works or entirely fresh narratives. Naughty Dog is known for infusing their games with rich lore, so the Semprian scripture could play a similar role to how religious or mystical texts often frame conflicts in science fiction worlds. We then move on to the scene where we zoom out through a planet and we look at our first spacecraft. At first glance, it's a Porsche spacecraft. The speculative nature of this connection has already generated buzz, especially considering Porsche's forays into futuristic and concept designs, which align with the sci-fi aesthetic of the trailer. I would expect more details to emerge as the game approaches its official release. We then move on to inside the spacecraft, where we see that there is an ancient TV with a CD-ROM, which is muted and is playing a sort of a animation of a cartoon of this girl who's shooting aliens in suits. We then move on to the bathroom. It's a large bathroom with the toiletries and good lighting, and we can see our protagonist essentially shaving her head with a trimmer. And while she's doing that, you can see that there are scars in the back suggesting past struggles. She also has lots of tattoos, but one in particular is very interesting, and it's on the right arm. It says ERIDA 6 or ERIDA 6. We then get an incoming call on the TV, to which she answers, and while that's happening, you can also see greenery displayed all over the spacecraft. While the call is happening, we then get to see a very big board of research. Now, this is filled with information, and we can go into the depths of everything, but essentially, we have the pictures of our cast. We have Tati Gabrielle, who is our main protagonist. We've also got Kumail Nanjiani. You might know him from Marvel The Eternals. We've got Tony Dalton. You might know him from Better Call Saul. He was one of the Salamancas. We've also got Stephen A. Chang. He was a voice actor in The Last of Us 2. We also know she is tracking someone, as she has alias or IDs, or she could be using them for herself, but the IDs are men, so I don't think that's the case. She also has some detective research items such as login info or the maps of the system or the galaxy. There's also a news article or a report which says thief terrorizes Blue Star System district. This thief is probably the person she is chasing. It could also be her, but I just don't see why she would put that up on the board. It has to be someone she's chasing. We also then see the 5 aces being mentioned, whether it's an affiliation, is it a group, are they friends, are they family? We're still yet to know, but we know that there's a deeper connection to this. While she's speaking on the phone call with the agent, you can see that the agent has an eye patch suggesting past struggles. The bounty hunter, who is our protagonist, has an agent in the new world, which is quite interesting. And during the call, if you look at the agent's background, you can see vehicles moving around. So there's an expectation that she is inside a city. She mentions a Semprian moon, which is the second time the word Semprian has been mentioned, because the first time it was in the opening credit scene. She mentions that no one has left that planet, neither do you hear from people when they go into that planet. Our protagonist then moves within the spacecraft. You can see that there's a dinner table with food on it. There's also a printer, which is very interesting. You can see that the technology is supported or created by Pantechnic. There are also cameras and sensors following our protagonist everywhere. She then proceeds to pick up a gun and then opens the door to the cockpit. Inside, you can see that there are controls to control the spacecraft. She is stationed right in front of the moon and is now drinking a juice while she's speaking to her agent. The topic of this phone call is basically to get information about the person that she is chasing and to lock in that target. The person that she is chasing is Colin Graves. There's a bounty of 1.6 million, whatever currency is in that world. It's unclaimed until she eventually forces the agent to claim him. This person is from the Five Aces affiliation, as seen from the original board. The client is ISMW Terria Sector. Now, this is possibly the organization or the group that basically wants to kill off or capture the person, and that's why they've hired a bounty hunter. We also see that this agent is a threat level 7, which is interesting because it shows there are different levels to the threats, and I would assume if 10 was the max threat, 7 is pretty high. The agent again emphasizes that no one is crazy to go there, but our protagonist then acknowledges and mentions that Colin went in, he is crazy, and he's desperate, and so is she. The agent, probably coming from a place of care, is a little hesitant, but our protagonist essentially forces to get the bounty claimed. And then we get to see that the bounty has been claimed by Jordan A. Munn. That is the name of our protagonist. Right at the end of the call, the agent calls her a kid, says she'll see her on the other side, shows some feelings of care. Jordan then takes a deep breath while looking at the planet. There's a breathtaking shot of both ways of her just looking at the planet and staring at it, but also the planet itself with the star in the background. She then proceeds to start the Sony Music player to play a song. We can see that while she's starting up the spacecraft, she's wearing Adidas shoes. We then get to see another view of the spacecraft, and we can see the exact model here. So it's the Porsche 984 Tempest NDX. She then proceeds to go to the planet. By the look of the first shot, she is still not on the main part of the planet, as it can still be seen in the background. However, there is a chance that that could just be the moon and she is on the main part of the planet. I wonder if her spacecraft crashed, which is why she landed a bit earlier, but we'll have to wait and see. She uses a sci-fi sword to kill a robot. She uses the boulder to jump and essentially lays down her sword on the robot, and then we get to see Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, come out as the main title of the game. The title, The Heretic Prophet, suggests a deeply layered meaning, particularly in narratives involving rebellion, transformation, and challenging the status quo. A heretic is someone who defies established beliefs or traditions, particularly in religious or ideological contexts. A prophet is a visionary or seer, often someone who delivers profound truths or predictions. The combined meaning of the heretic prophet juxtaposes rebellion with visionary leadership, hinting at a character or group that challenges established norms while inspiring a transformative movement or belief system. In a sci-fi context, the combination suggests a character or group who might challenge the dogmatic principles of an intergalactic society or religion while unveiling a new way of understanding their universe. This person could either be vilified for their defiance or revered for their insight. And that was basically everything. So if you've made it till the end of the video, congratulations, pat yourself on the back. You now know more than most people know about the new game Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, make sure to comment below, let me know how you liked the video, and make sure to subscribe for more Naughty Dog and all other gaming related videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.